As Labour's war on landlords rages on, and it does, there are still good opportunities to earn healthy yields. So although it looks pretty grim out there, there is a lot of possibilities. And this week I've picked out 7 top towns and cities or areas where I think you can do that from our experience. Basically, it's been another challenging year so far for landlords. Record numbers apparently are selling off their properties. Disillusion about how difficult it's become to turn a profit with bricks and mortar. But even with these stamp duty increases, canny investors, people who are smart, who look for a good investment opportunity, can still find good places to buy. We might have areas of the southwest and the southeast might have been ruled out, but there are some good locations if you buy correctly. The Midlands, northeast, northwest, Scotland, parts of the southeast do still have some good opportunities. So from university cities to commuter towns, that's what we're going to look at, and different takes on those sort of concepts. So let's start off with Sheffield. Okay, it's the 6th largest city in the UK. It's got a proud industrial heritage. Harris Ahmed of property investment platform You Own believes it's right for buy to let. He says the investment case for Sheffield is driven by its affordability, and in fact it's a dynamic and growing city. This leads to a punchy yield combined with the potential for capital appreciation in the coming years. And we have experienced that because we've done quite a few developments and houses, HMOs in Sheffield, and it is a good market for it. What does Ahmed say we should be buying there? He said apartments in the city centre close to where the big insurer, Legal & General, has regenerated the West Bar. So I think that's a good shout from Ahmed. Who would I rent to? Students and young professionals who want to be in the thick of things, who want to be living the dream in the city centre. What do the yields look like? Well, basically the yields, flat and good condition, between 110 and 120, 150,000, that sort of thing, is giving us a gross yield of about 7%. It's got a large student body, and so you might want to consider doing HMOs. I think that's not a bad idea, and they're around £240,000. So it's more work, but the yields are higher, 8 to 10%.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you're enjoying this piece of content and would like to find out more about buying property and our key 10 steps to doing so, then pop your details in the link below somewhere and grab a copy of our book, 10 Steps to 10K, the Expat Property Playbook. Enjoy.
On from there, where else? Glasgow, okay? It's affordable by Scottish standards. If you compare it to Edinburgh, it is quite cheap still. You can go further out to Dundee, but Dundee yields are very high, but the cap appreciation is very poor. So that's not so great. So what do Savills say? Areas such as Partick, Finnieston and Kelvinbridge in the west end of Glasgow are popular locations, as is Shawlands in the south of the city and Dennistoun in the east end, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Scottish people. What should I buy? 2-bedroom flats. Who would I rent to? Again, students are very big. A lot of them stay on and work for the big financial companies up there like Barclays or JP Morgan. So it is a good investment opportunity. What do the yields look like? 6% on average on something like £250,000, but they're talking about prices forecast to grow by 28% in the next 5 years, according to Savills. That's pretty good. Where next? Outside of Cambridge. Basically, I'm focusing on Ely and Downham Market in West Suffolk. Why? Already people are moving out of Cambridge because average house price is over £1 million for the real proper stuff in the centre of town. And even it's detached and it's flats, they're still about £500,000 to 800,000. So basically got a ripple, and it says, and basically some of the quotes are, the area is set to become a commuter hotspot with increasing tenant demand and potential for capital growth. Jonathan Hopper of the buying agent Garrington says, its affordability compared to Cambridge makes it an appealing choice for investors seeking value in a growing market. What should you buy? 2-3-bed houses. Who can you rent into? Well, on that side of the city, you're looking at people like commuters, 30 minutes into the centre of town, 20 minutes into Cambridge from Ely. And also on the other side, you've got the big US Air Force bases that are using the old RAF places like Lakenheath and so on. If you go onto the other side of the Cambridge, you go into St Neots, and then over there might well be the Oxford-Cambridge rail link, which will shoot up house prices. So it's a good buying opportunity. What do the yields look like? Budget around £350,000 for a 3-bed house, and looking at a gross yield of about 5%, which isn't shooting the lights out, but it is freehold. It's not a flat, which is positive. Next, we're moving on to the Midlands, and we've got Chesterfield. Why? It's equidistant from major employment markets, but the environment itself, Chesterfield is been smartened up with a new railway station. It was going to be part of HS2, but HS2 hasn't reached that far, but it is still one of the levelling up agenda feeder towns to go into the major conurbations. and it's much cheaper than Nottingham, Derby, Sheffield, where people go to work from Chesterfield as a rule. So it's a small market town with great rail connections, great connections, and it's just had 500 million spent on it as a regeneration, and there's more coming apparently. At the last talk from the Chancellor, she said she was spending another 700 million on it. Well, that's true or not, who knows, could be all pie in the sky. So what do you buy there? 1 or 2 bedroom flats, something like 150 to 180,000 pounds. Who are you renting to? As I said, professionals who are commuting into Derby, Sheffield and Nottingham. Now what is the real kicker? The real kicker is what is the yield and the capital appreciation. 7 to 8% rental yield, and cap appreciation, which is best in the Midlands, according to the ONS, at 7%. So that's pretty terrific. Another good place, Leamington Spa. What is there not to like about a good Regency town like that? Leamington Spa, it's got Warwick University just up the road. It's got loads of schools and good amenities and blue chip employers like Jaguar Land Rover, Aston Martin, and the demand for quality rentals is high. I've got one client who just rents to Japanese students who go to Warwick University, and they get a terrific yield. So that's good locations. It's also an easy commute to both London and Birmingham, widening its appeal, says Nick Martini Roberts of Winkworths. Cracking name. What should you buy? 2 bedroom flats. Who will be rented to? Commuters, mature students, local couples. What do the yields look like? 325 will get you something, 5.5%. So again, not shooting the lights out, but good quality tenants. That's the whole point with this, rental review going on. You need to focus on getting good quality tenants, because it is going to be more difficult if they turn into a bad tenant. Where else next? Now Liverpool. Liverpool was not one of my favourite places, because it is a bit of a quilt of good and bad locations, but it's getting a lot of money spent on it. According to Ross Fleming of the Integris Property Group, he says, I think Liverpool is a cracking location to invest because it's a city on the up. It has a vast amount of regeneration going on. Billions of pounds are spent over the next decade, which will transform huge parts of the city. So not only do you have an excellent affordability at the moment, great rental yields, but with the regeneration projects in Liverpool taking place, it will elevate the whole city. So he's obviously an enthusiast when it comes to Liverpool. What should I buy? 1 or 2 bedroom flats. Who am I renting to? Students from one of Liverpool's 3 universities and young professionals. Now this is where I don't really buy it, because what are the drivers for Liverpool over and above that? I don't see them. It's just cheap. A lot of people are buying up there and they do like it. I think it'd probably become a commuter town from Manchester at the end of the day. What do the yields look like? A brand new 1 bedroom flat, £100,000 in Liverpool, or a 2 bedroom property from around £170,000. 6.5 to 7% yield, says Fleming. Okay, where's next? Again, a place I not normally would have chosen, but Teesside, Middlesbrough, Stockton, Hartlepool, Redcar, places like that. Low prices plus strong demand make a great buy-to-let market for landlords who are looking for instant income stream. Now this is quite a unique market, because Hamptons say that it's bucking the landlord exodus trend, most popular spot for investors in 2024. 40% of homes were sold to landlords. Quite extraordinary. What should you buy? I would buy refurbed 1 to 4 bedroom properties qualifying under the supported living approval for local councils. And these are 85k up to about 150k. Now why that? The lease on them is between 3 and 20 years. And that's the government paying your rent, which is excellent. And this is a real hotspot, that sort of like Teesside location for this. So you're not going to get a huge amount of capital appreciation. But if you're looking for an income bet, this is a great thing to be doing. Very positive. What do the yields look like? They start at 9% as a rule, 9%. And with the guaranteed inflation rises, it should go up to about 17%. Other benefits, no management fees, no tenant concerns. Okay, the only thing you pay for is your landlord insurance. So for a long-term buy, for an income generating concept, it's very good. So that's it for this week as far as different places. There's some good ones. I think a special mention I would give out to would be Reading, because Reading, I think if you can buy a place close to the Elizabethan line station, you're laughing, because the rental yields again are up there, say it's 6 or 7 and a bit percent in some cases, and in 25 minutes you're in the centre of London. So it's much cheaper than London, but just as quick to get in. So there we are for the week. Thank you very much. Some comments from Buffett 1000 7 days ago. It's going to be a shambles, no doubt scrapped by reform. Sell if you want to, but you look back in anger as prices inevitably surge. It's true. We've got short-term stuff going on. Don't be put off by the landlord bill because you're frightened about it. Jump in, put a healthy deposit down, so you are going to be covered if interest rates do go up again. That's what I would suggest. Okay, Ali Khan 8594. The problem as UK economy borrows more than it makes for rates to go down. Tax revenues will fall. Landlords are market dumping. Yeah, they are at the moment, for sure in some places, but obviously not in places like Teesside. But it is a case of your perspective. What are you in it for, the long term or the short term? That's what I would say to everyone. Ace of Spades 5786. We're over the worst. A couple of base rate cuts to come. Reeves apparently cutting red tape, specifically unpicking post-credit crunch affordability and stress testing in the new year. So if stress testing gets more relaxed, the market will be carrying on to pick up again. I think the iceberg in the sea or the storm on the horizon could be rental controls. If Labour do bring that in, that will be a problem. If you're not in it, you can't win it, as we say. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much. Cheerio. Don't forget to download our ebook if you can, or if you'd like more information on these locations, we have fact sheets on all these sorts of different properties, which we can let you have copies of. Thank you very much. Cheerio. Bye-bye.